Shalom, in the name of YAHAWAH, honor and praises to Yahweh, the God of Israel, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. After that, I want to give honors to the elders of Israel and all those that labors in the truth. And saying that, let's go into the book of Psalms, because see, y'all have to understand that Yahweh, he don't hear everyone's prayers. And whether you disagree with me, it's cool, or whether I disagree. The point is, and factual, is that he don't hear everyone's prayers. All right? So let's open up to the Psalms 66, chapter, verse 18. If I regard iniquity. Now he said if. Now if means depends. Okay? If I regard. Now when he said if I regard, meaning it depends if he hold or if he cherish, protect. Okay? Iniquity. Now iniquity basically means immoral, wickedness. Let me give you an example. Living a transgender lifestyle. Okay? Deceiving people throughout life through manipulations. Okay? Those are wicked ways. Okay? And they're not of God. So those are what you call basically iniquities. Okay? Let's read that again. Psalm 66 verse 18. If I regard iniquity in my heart, the Lord will not hear me. Meaning that if I hold and cherish iniquity or sins, then he won't be able to hear my prayers. Okay? But verily Yahweh hath heard me and have attended to the voice of my prayers. Now let's see, say verily Yahweh attended to his prayers. Why? Because there was no separation. His iniquities, the psalmist's iniquities and sins was present. Okay, so there was no separation. All right. In fact, let me get Isaiah, the 59th chapter, verse 1. Behold, the Lord's hand is not shortened, that it cannot save. Meaning that I'm not saying that he can't reach down and grab you and pull you up into the truth. I never say that. Okay, I'm not saying that. Neither his ears heavy that he cannot hear. I never said that he don't hear you at all. I'm not saying he don't hear you at all. Okay? But your iniquities, listen, but your iniquities, what? But your iniquities have separated, what? Have separated, what? Have separated between you and your God. Let's read that again. But your iniquities have separated between you and your God, and your sins have hid his face from you that he will not hear. Meaning that your sins and your iniquities is present, so you have a separation. So once that separation take place, then Yahweh is not able to hear your prayers. Okay? In fact, YAHAWAH, his son, felt that separation. Okay? When he was hanging on that tree. In fact, let's go to the book of Matthew, Matthew 27 chapter, verse 46. And about the 9th hour, YAHAWAH cried with a loud voice, saying, Eli, Eli, lama sabachthani. That is to say, my God, Yahweh, Yahweh, why hast thou forsaken me? And what he mean by forsaking him is the Lord hid his face from YAHAWAH, his son. Okay? He hid his face. Okay? Let's get and he felt that separation. Let's get 2 Corinthians. Second Corinthians chapter 5 verse 21. For he hath made him to be sin. See, so when YAHAWAH became sin, he was separated. Okay? Who knew no sin, that we might be made righteousness of Yahweh in him. See, so he knew no sin, but took on that sin. So when he took on that sin, and he bore the sins on that tree, he felt that separation. So he cried out, because sin separates you from Yahweh. Okay, let's get 1 Peter chapter 1 verse 19. but with the precious blood of YAHAWAH as of a lamb without blemish and without spot. Meaning that he had no sin. He was the perfect sacrifice. Okay, because all men fell that came in the flesh. All right, except for YAHAWAH. All men fell in the flesh. See? Verse 20, who verily was foreordained before the foundation of the world, but was manifested in these last days, in these last times for you. Meaning that he was already predestined to come. Okay? So this is already was in the play. All right, but the point is that you cannot keep on living a lifestyle outside of the gospel or this book and expect for Yahweh to hear your prayers. It don't work like that, okay? And that's what y'all have to understand. It don't work like that. Let's get let me get okay, let me get Colossians chapter 2 verse 14. Blotting out the handwriting of ordinance. Listen, blotting out the handwriting of ordinance that was against us, which was contrary to us, and took it out the way, nailing it to the cross. Okay? See, so he took on that sinful nature. All right? So he felt that separation. And sin separation from Yahweh. Okay? Listen to what this blind man said to the Pharisees. Let's go to the book of John, the 9th chapter. Let's start at verse 31. Now we know that Yahweh heareth not sinners. Now we know that Yahweh heareth not sinners. But if any man be a worshiper of Yahweh and does his will, him he heareth. Okay, point blank simple. And the will is keeping those commandments. Okay, Ecclesiasticus 12 tell you that. Deuteronomy 10:12 tell you that. Okay, that's your whole duty in life. Let's go down to verse 32. Since the world began, was it not heard that any man opened the eyes of one that was born blind? Meaning throughout human history, you never heard of a man that opened up another man's eyes that was born physically blind. Or raised another man up that was physically dead. Okay? You never seen that in human history except for one person, that was YAHAWAH. Okay? Listen to what the blind man said. Verse 33. If this man was not of Yahweh, listen, if this man were not of Yahweh, he could do nothing. Meaning that if he wasn't from Yahweh, he couldn't open the man's eyes. He couldn't raise the dead. He couldn't do nothing. Okay, you can't do nothing without Yahweh. And once you separate it from Yahweh, you can't do nothing. Okay? You have to understand that he don't hear everybody's prayers. All right? Let's get Psalms. Let's go into the book of Psalms. Let's go to Psalms, the 34th chapter. Let's go to verse 15. The eyes of the Lord are upon the righteous, and his ears are open unto their cry. See, his ears is open up to their cry. Verse 16, the face of the Lord is against them that doeth evil, to cut them off the remembrance of them from the earth. Meaning that his face is against you if you continuously do evil. But he hear the prayers of the righteous. Okay? Verse 17, the righteous shall cry, and the Lord heareth, and he delivereth them out of their troubles. Meaning when the righteous cry, he delivered them out of their trouble. Not saying that when you doing something wrong or you doing something that's against the law, against the commandments, and you pray to not get caught, right? And you don't happen to not get caught. Yahweh himself didn't save you. Okay? The God of Satan, the God of this world, answered your prayers. Okay? Because he know the end results. So what he did was not let you go to jail so you can continue to live that lifestyle and transgress the laws of the Most High and stay separate and stay separated. That's his whole goal. Okay? See, so you have to understand who you praying to. Okay? Because Yahweh himself don't hear everybody's prayers. If you separated from him, he's not going to hear your prayer because sin separates you from Yahweh. Okay? And he get them out of their troubles, right? Let's go to let me get Psalms 45, 145. Let me get Psalms 145, verse 19. He will fulfill the desires of them that fear him. Listen, he will fulfill the desires of them that fear him. He will also hear their cry and will save them. Okay? He's going to save them, the righteous. He's going to save the righteous. So when the righteous cry, they don't cry vainness. Okay? They don't cry in emptiness. Okay? So when he answers the righteous prayers, he's going to save them because they enter the commandments. They're not separated from Yahweh. Okay? So he's able to hear their prayer. All right? Let me get let's go into the book of Micah. Let me see where we at. Micah chapter 3 verse 4. Then shall they cry unto the Lord, but he will not hear them. That's the unrighteous. He will even hide his face from them at that time. And that time of crying, at that time of trouble, when you're going to cry out and you really need Yahweh, he's not going to be there. Okay? Because you're separated from him. Let's read that again. Micah chapter 3 verse 4. Then shall they cry unto the Lord, but he will not hear them. He will even hide his face from them at that time, as they have behaved themselves ill in their doing. Meaning that y'all continue to protest transgender. Y'all continue to support legislation that's anti-God. And so now when you find out that those laws and legislations is enslaving you and made your life hard, now you want to cry out to Yahweh. But he ain't going to answer your prayers. He's not going to hear your cries. Okay? It is what it is because you support it, you protest it, and you march, and you run to ideology and philosophy. That's just point blank. All right? Let's get first, let me get 1 Corinthians. 1 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 28. But let a man examine